you know what? I know you too humble, and I know you take care of a lot of people. I do know that you paid for George Floyd's funeral.
Yes.
And why did you feel like you had to do that? And what made you feel like I gotta represent for this man and his family?
Well, for number one, his name is Floyd. I mean, he got Floyd in his name. That's just for starters. But actually, man, because they say actions speak louder than words. So everybody always getting out there, oh, this. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be a professional, because a lot of businesses that got tore up are businesses that I own. But I don't speak on that. You know, we live and we learn. And my thing is this: we have to. The thing is, we doing a lot of talking, but like I said, it's all about actions. You know, you got artists, different artists out there talking about, a lot of artists, and it's no disrespect to no artists. You got artists that say, kill us, kill us Nigga, kill us Nigga. But then you'll say that on your song, but then you say, but then when they doing it, then it's more like, it's like an oxymoron, because you got these young kids, they listen to what y'all saying, they going out there doing what y'all say do. So we got to really be careful with what we say in this music nowadays, because these kids follow what these artists say. And what I would say to the young generation is, let your mother and your father, if they're doing something positive, let your mother and your father be your role model.
That's right.
Yeah, and because the music, music is art. Music is art. So
it's entertainment. I personally feel like it's entertainment. Don't live your life beyond the music. But I feel like we have freedom of speech and we can say whatever we want. But I get what you're saying. A lot of people are small-minded and they might follow the wrong message. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right. But
my thing is this: I love the hip hop world, and I want to live. Hip hop is gonna live on, and I love it, and I will continue to support all the hip hop artists out there. I want to see them do good, because the hip hop world.
Would you ever fight Conor McGregor again? Is that the biggest pay? I know you're the biggest paid guy, but is that the biggest attraction? If Floyd Mayweather says, I'll fight anybody, what would be the biggest shit in the world?
Well, I'm a businessman now. I already proved years and years ago that I was the best, period. I'm talking about pound for pound. I already proved all that. So at my age now, I'm a businessman. So I'm not going to be out there competing and fighting guys that only got a small city behind them. Like, you got a lot of American fighters good, but they got little cities behind them. I'm going to fight guys that got a whole country behind them. So I know I can demand and get what I want to get.
So that's Pacquiao?
I made more with McGregor.
Let me ask you a question.
Listen,
Pacquiao
guess what?
Everybody, hold up.
Hold up. Once again, my faculties and everything that I got comes first. We just talked about your health is your wealth.
That's right.
And that's why I got this towel on. I was working out today. Now, Pacquiao fight because he have to.
I know that.
Once again, I fight if I want to. So there's a difference.
The question is, let me go back to this, because it's real important. And I'm only going to big you up with this. I've always wondered, and everybody always said, why Floyd ain't fight Pacquiao at his prime, why they wasn't in both their prime. I've always heard a rumor that you just didn't want to get no money. You didn't want to give no money to Barbara Aaron. I heard he tried to take advantage of you, allegedly, when you was younger, and you worked your way out that contract, and then you you became your own boss from there on and wound up becoming the billionaire that we know. Could you elaborate? Was that the main reason why you didn't fight Pacquiao at your prime at the same time?
Well, y'all, we keep on saying at our prime. I'm older than Pacquiao by 2 years. So we keep on saying in your prime. So when I beat Pacquiao, they say he wasn't in his prime. I'm older than you. And then when I fought Oscar De La Hoya, they said about me and Pacquiao, me and Oscar, we both was in our 30s. So they keep on, like, no matter what happens in this, it's never good enough for anyone.
I get it.
So as long as I'm happy, that's what's important. And what happened with the fight was this. Remember, I was a pioneer of random blood in urine testing for all athletes so we all can be on an even playing field.
That's right.
I feel like everybody should be on an even playing field. We all should be equal.
That's right.
No matter, and that's the same thing that our people is fighting for right now, meaning that we just want to be treated like everybody else. Don't judge me for the color of my skin, because I'm not judging you for the color of your skin.
That's right.
And it works just like this. When Conor McGregor said disrespectful stuff, talk about dance boy, and called us monkeys, said dance boy, nobody got behind Floyd Mayweather. You know, this is so crazy. Like I said before, when it's racism amongst blacks, it's called colorism. So it's racism amongst our people.
Of course.
Right now.
Everywhere.
So,
if you watch
Spanish
TV, they only got blonde hair, blue-eyed people on Univision right now.
But
it's
what
colorism with every race.
That's why every day when I get up, I'm happy, because you know what? I did it for myself, and I did it for my children, and I made sacrifices.
Would you think then that in the fullness of time, when people look back in history, they will see that Pacquiao is the man that Mayweather didn't fight, rather than Pacquiao didn't get the Mayweather?
I don't think it'll come across that way. I think people will say, why didn't they fight each other? And blame both guys, to be honest with you, because the first negotiation we were against the blood test, and it was kind of our fault that the first time it didn't work. And then we came to a point where we accepted that later on. But
how much do you think the promoters and the animosity the promoters had toward each other have hurt that fight?
100%. That's why. Fighters fight. To me, fighters don't fight anybody. Fighters are. It's not like fighters are scared and stuff like that. I think a lot to do, especially a couple of years ago, a lot had to do with Golden Boy and Top Rank. I mean, just not wanting to work together. It's like, I remember when Don King and Bob Arum were the big guys, and they hated each other, but they still promoted fights. But I don't know why these two companies can't, because the pool for our fighters now is getting much smaller, because it's two separate pools now. Right. And if they don't start crossing over, there's not going to be any more fights.
What was it like for you as a guy that, for a while you were managing training Golden Boy fighters and Top Rank fighters, right?
I still do.
But not as many as you have,
not
right?
Not as many, but I still have Frankie Gomez.
Did that create issues for you? Like, you have Bruce on one end and,
They never played the middle with me. I just dealt with each of them as individuals, and no one asked me to go with one side or the other. They were very respectful. I don't work for anybody, and I do whichever. If I have a new kid coming up, and Golden Boy makes me a better offer than Top Rank did, I will go with them. I have to go what's best for the fighter.
Freddie, you seem to be suggesting just there then that even about Floyd Mayweather, that perhaps he even wants the fights with Manny.
Excuse me one second. You guys are welcome to stay, but Joel Diaz is here on the other side if you need to talk. What?
You seem to be even suggesting that Mayweather actually wants the fight, or wanted the fight with Manny, but he was talked out of it by someone.
I know fighters, and fighters they're not afraid of anybody in the world. I mean, they will fight each other, I think. You know, but I can't read his mind, of course. I mean, the thing is, over time, it just, like, why hasn't this fight happened? Every big fight that's ever supposed to happen has happened in the history of boxing. But sometimes sooner, sometimes later. But it's just like this one, maybe it's too late at this point. It's like, how much interest is it? I mean, it's still a big fight, but it's not like it was 2 years ago.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't think sometimes fans do, so I want to ask you this question. You know, you just said fighters fight and they'll fight anybody. But you also said previously when you were discussing Mayweather and knockouts, you said he doesn't have the balls to go for it. So I just want to get in your words to explain that, because some people will hear your two quotes and think they're contradictory.
Yes. The thing is, I think 2 years ago, Mayweather would want to fight Manny. But now, at this point in his career, he's so close to the end of his career.
Finishing undefeated.
He wants to finish undefeated, and I don't think he'll. Why take that chance? That's how I feel. But the thing is, but when they were both in their prime 2 years ago, and there was a lot of interest in the fight, I'm sure both fighters wanted to make that fight happen.
So when you look at Mayweather, and you go, he's got 3 fights after this fight left on his contract. If he is 48-0 going to that last fight, no matter who he fights, can he finish at 49-0? Can he go away undefeated? It's going to be a massive 2 million pay-per-view, you would think, just because of what will be riding on it. So wouldn't he be wise at that point to say, let's fight Pacquiao, because now I'm going to give myself the ultimate test of finishing my career against the hardest fighter?
I agree with that, and I think I'm on our side. I honestly think a little bit that Bob wants that fight to be our last fight. I think that's what Bob.
Both guys going out?
I think yes, both guys. Yeah. I mean, that would be a great finish, of course, and then Peter can finish my book.
Well, finally. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Thanks, Freddie.
Freddie, on Mayweather, Pacquiao, and Bradley, do you think potentially those 3 are the top 3 pound-for-pound fighters in the world at the moment?
Will there be any excuses after May 2nd for either fighter, for Mayweather or for your fighter?
There shouldn't be. I mean, the best man will win, and we'll go from there.
Obviously, you believe Manny Pacquiao is going to win the fight. I'm just saying, hypothetically, something that's not supposed to happen actually occurs that night, and Floyd wins the fight decisively. 2 questions. If Manny Pacquiao wins the fight, where do you rate him as an all-time great? If Mayweather wins the fight, same question.
I think it's a good win for Mayweather if he wins the fight. Pacquiao is, again, I think, if you want to go with the history of boxing and go with all the boxers out there that from ever, are you talking about the best of ever or the best of just his era? I think he might be the best fighter for his era. Yes.
Like top 20, top 15, top 5?
Best fighter of his era right now. Mm-hmm. Right, because he's undefeated and very good. And so I think of his era is good, but you can't compare those guys with like Sugar Ray Robinson, those guys that fought in a different era. Because I mean, look, they fought like once a month or twice a month, and I mean, they fought all the time. I mean, because they had to fight, because you know why they fought each other so many times in the rematches and stuff like that. I was talking to Tyson when I was training Mike Tyson, and Tyson told me, it was disgrace for you to turn the fight down because he had to feed his family. If he didn't fight, they couldn't feed their families.
And they also weren't getting paid as much as they are today too, right?
Oh, of course. I mean, they're just making a living, just getting by, of course. But I mean, my first 6-round pro fight, $90.
Are you serious?
$90. And my biggest payday ever was $75.
I bear witness there's only one God, Allah, and Muhammad is his final messenger. That's what I said, Larry, on the Bungle fight. Thanking you.
They call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans, anybody can get it.